I'm Dave Dinkle, and thanks for joining me for Transactional Funding for Real Estate Investors Question and Answer series. Today's question is, why do some closing agents love transactional funding? Real estate closing agents, title companies, and closing agents in general have strong opinions about real estate investors. Some of these people are investor-oriented and others are downright confrontational. Much of these opinions are centered around previous interactions or non-interactions with investors. The real estate closing agents who do a substantial non-commercial real estate business have to be investor friendly. The real estate investor community is a small community of like-minded individuals who make money buying and selling single-family and multifamily homes. Referrals to like-minded closing agents help build practices very quickly. Likewise, negative feedback can slowly kill a closing agent's business. There are some closing agents who are affiliated with realtors and may even be completely or partially owned by the real estate brokerage. They exist by referrals from agents to stay in business and are sometimes unfriendly to real estate investors. Then there are law firms that do real estate closings as a sideline to the regular practice of general law. These types of firms do not rely on investors doing double closings to survive. The closing of a real estate transaction has a limited amount of income potential for closing agents. The amounts and reasons for charging closing fees is limited, so successful agents rely on high volume repeat business or high fees. Overcharging investors will not keep them coming back. The most successful options for closing agents is working with repeating clients and working with investors who have limited funds. The conventional belief is that anyone buying a property must have the money to pay for it at closing or borrow the same amount of money. Many successful investors do not have the money, nor can they borrow it to close and hold a property. However, they can use transactional funding or so-called flash funding to buy and sell properties worth thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. The most successful real estate closing agents and attorneys understand the use of transactional funding and embrace its use as one-day funding technique for closing real estate transactions. In some instances, this process of transactional funding of the investor's purchase is so ingrained that the closing agent has made a secondary business of supplying transactional funding. Ask yourself this question: does it really matter how or where the investor gets the money to close so that everyone gets paid? Thanks for joining us again for our investor series on transactional funding's questions and answers.